Hey y'all, it's me, Niecielynn. This is February the 19th. This is Flosstube number 60, coming to you from the Masklace that is Texas right now. The sun is out though, so things are starting to melt and we're supposed to get above freezing today. So hallelujah and amen or amen, whichever you prefer, as the preacher in Watts Hatch used to say, because I am ready. I am never ready for this bad weather, and I don't like it. I know some people love cold weather, I don't. And we are not prepared for it. The little birds are not prepared for it. We have little dead birds everywhere. Oh, and a bunch of y'all asked, and the little meadowlark did not make it last week. I was so sad, and I did cry like a baby. But it did not make it. It was just, it had been too cold for too long already when it hopped up here to the back porch, but it never did even rally again. It just did not ever even perk back up. But we do have a good bird sanctuary, but it is not super close to me. It's about 45 minutes drive from me. And with the weather already going south that day, I did not want to drive all the way over there and back in the bad weather with it. So I did not. I thought maybe he would perk up if I got him warm, and he just didn't ever do it. So I don't know if I didn't see any sign of injury on him, but I don't know if a hawk or something had snatched him and dropped him, or if he had just got so cold that he never could get back going again. But he was pitiful. But it has been ridiculous down here. We were super lucky. We only were without power for about 15 hours. Micah was without power for about 65 hours. They live about 7 miles from us. CJ and Juanie live down to Houston, and Katie down right outside Houston, and they were without for about 72 hours. And so I know some of the neighbors in our old neighborhood, which is about, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 miles from here, they were without power for 80 hours, and I'm not sure if they have it back yet. But there was only 4 houses in that neighborhood that for some reason didn't get power back yet. So it's insane. It's insane to think that. Texans we are a different breed. That is no doubt. And it's hard for people to understand what aren't Texans, how and why things happen the way they happen and the way they do. I'm certainly not going to defend it because it is ridiculous at this point. This is a ridiculousness, but the way we are our own worst enemy a lot of times, and that's what has bit the butt right this time, because back in the 30s, when FDR set up the power grid all across the U.S., there was one set up on the East Coast, there was one set up on the West Coast, and made in the middle. And Texas said, "Oh no, we got this. We'll do our own." And we do make more power than all the UK combined in Texas. Okay, so we should be fine. But of course, greed always gets in the way, and so Texas deregulated its power companies in '95, and they were never made, all the little individual companies were never made to keep up with each other or with anything. So they've never been made to modernize. They've never been made to keep up with anything really much. And so, and normally it would not be a big deal. I mean, we haven't had anything even near this since 2011. So normally we just skate along and we're fine. Our big pool is in the summertime when it's hot, and we have enough to normally, get on down the road and be fine. And now here we are, and it has caught up with them. They have not kept up, and they have not done what they should, and now they've caught out. And there was some icicles falling right there. And so here we are with people and there's going to be huge damage, and the insurance companies are going to have to pay out huge. We got lucky so far. James Williams was able to, you know, he kept everything. He kept turning things on and off, and kept some things dripping, and this dripping at this time and that dripping at that time, and he turned this on, turned that off, and all these things. And it was crazy. But because he knows about water and knows about how things work, you know, we were able to come out so far pretty decent. We've had no, you know, we had, you know, the hours that we didn't have heat. We finally couldn't take it anymore. We called Micah, because of course, you know, you can't cook, you can't anything. We called Micah. They had a fire going at their house. So instead of burning fire here and there and using up twice as much wood, we went to their house. We loaded up and went through town, and thought we'd get the babies some chicken nuggets and things, just to try to divert them from the horror that was going on. And we got over there, and some more family friends were over there. Where they have a little girl that's right in between Kimi and Aria. Lily is right in between them, and they love her like a sister. And so her parents, Jen and Josh, were there, and so we were all there together, and we stayed there together all day. James Williams kept getting work calls, because of course the water and wastewater plants were experiencing difficulties, and those things have to keep working. They got to keep working, because if they don't, we're in big trouble. And so he kept getting phone calls, and having to go out and take his phone calls. And, you know, we were all trying to just stay warm, and, you know, ate the food that we came in with, and all. And the girls ate their chicken nuggets and their french fries. They were super excited to, you know, that was a little bit of normalcy, you know, in their day. And then they went back to playing again. Well, that evening, our heat came back on. So we came home and tried to get Mike and them to come, you know, with us, or Josh and Jen. They said, no, Josh and Jen have their dogs at home. And they said, no, we have to go home and check, you know, check on the dogs and stay with the dogs. We'll be fine. They have a gas insert in the fireplace. They said it doesn't put off much heat, because it's mainly one that's for aesthetics. It's not for heat production. But they said, you know, we think we'll be all right. If not, you know, we'll come on. And Mike and them said they were going to keep the fire going in hopes they could keep the house warm enough to keep pipes from bursting and stuff. And they said, surely ours will come back on. Since y'all's came back on, surely ours will. You know, things are supposed to be rolling blackouts and stuff, so ours will come back on. Well, the next morning, they still hadn't come back on. They had gone all night. Of course, they all slept in front of the fire, and the girls thought it was a big adventure, you know. They'd all slept, camped out in front of the fire and all, but they brought the girls to us, and came and stayed with us the next day. Josh and Jen came, and Lily, and they all stayed with us here the next day, because we had heat. Josh had cooked on the smoker, and so he brought a pork butt that he had cooked on the smoker outside. And so, you know, we ate and stayed here all day the next day, and we had, you know, water and heat, and we were so thankful that, you know, we could all be together then the next day and stay warm. But, I mean, it just went on and on and on. And then the girls stayed with us. Mike and Justin, you know, went back to the house and kept adding to the fire and adding to the fire, and trying to keep the fire going. And Justin stayed over there most of the day. He would come over here and warm up a little bit and then go back. You know, you're just trying to keep everything from bursting. Their older house over on Lundquist, the pipes did bust in the kitchen. Their neighbor behind them, the whole ceiling has fallen in because his pipes busted. I mean, it's just, we're not cut out for this. Our houses aren't set up for this kind of cold, for this kind of long at all. But what do? You just try to live through it. You find out that tons of people don't know anything about their own homes. If you don't know how to cut off the water at your house, find out. It's something you should probably know anyway. Find out where it is, find out how to turn it off. That's something you should just probably know anyway. If you don't know how much you pay per kilowatt hour, for your heat, for your electricity. That's probably something you should just know anyway. Find out if you don't. Just, you know, little things that you find out you didn't know. I mean, we know all those things, but from the post on our little town, you know, Facebook page and stuff, tons of people don't know these things. And, you know, especially I guess if you move from other places where I guess they have set rates or something for things like this, you can shop around here and be with different companies. And James changes ours. He shops around every year and gets the best rate and then locks in with that company for a year. And he always gets with a fixed rate. Evidently, some people get with companies that have variable rates throughout the year. And if you're with one of those companies, it's going to be bad times this year. Now, I'm hoping that surely the state will step in and do something, because those people's electric bills will be unmanageable. That's nuts. But I don't know, things like that are just craziness. Craziness. Anywho, but we all made it. The kids were fine. They thought they had some, you know, they had adventures. They got to play with Lily at their house one whole day, and then here one whole day. And the next day, Josh took Lily and Jen to her parents to stay with them. And he came back home to keep the fire going and everything, to try to just, I mean, you just do what you can. So we were lucky that we could, you know, several groups of us could be together. And Keely and Bebe, you know, they live way out the country, and they never lost, they have a small co-op electric. They never lost power. They have well water, and Keely was able to keep the heat lamp going out there in the well house, and so they never lost water either. Mama's electric stayed on. She and sister's, their electric stayed on, but her water froze up. Sister's didn't, but Mama's did. So Daddy and Annie had the rolling blackout, so theirs would, you know, go off for 30, 45 minutes and then come back on. So theirs, you know, did like everybody's was supposed to. But what happened was when they would flip off, a lot of people, like that's what our neighborhood did, it never would flip back on. That's why we were without for 15 hours. They couldn't get it to flip back on once they flipped it off. So, yeah, it was just a hot mess. But the girls, they thought that it was, you know, it was a big adventure. They wore their pajamas for days. You know, of course, I let them eat whatever they wanted. When they spent the night with us, they were so funny because they played all day. And they got tired then, you know, and so about 8, I put them down and I started, they wanted to watch their new Crude movie, the Crudes movie, on their little iPad. So I turned it on, and of course we're trying to not run the electricity just at the bare minimum. I think we had it on like 67 or something. So, you know, to conserve as much as we could for everybody else. And so we turned their little movie on their iPad. And told them they could watch it while they was going to sleep. And we turned on their little, well, not turned them on, but broke their little glow sticks. When they spend the night with us, they like to have a lot of little glow sticks because we sleep with it much darker than they do at home. So they had their little glow sticks. Well, they woke up at 5 something and decided they had to go TT. Well, then of course they turned on all the lights in the bathroom. And then Aria comes to the side of the bed and says, "Chick, I'm gonna need you to come cover me back up." I said, "Okay, baby." So, you know, we go and cover her back up, and she goes, they went right on back to sleep. Well, at 7:30, they woke up for good. And, you know, we've just been laying there trying to be quiet and hoping they'd, you know, sleep till they were ready to wake up. She comes over there and she says, "Shug, I'm gonna need you to cook me some eggs." Okay. So we go in here in the kitchen and I start, you know, bacon and eggs and biscuits and everything. And I'm just sitting there trying not to bawl because I'm thinking, I'm so grateful that I can cook breakfast for them, and they're warm and they're dry and comfortable. And, you know, half the state at this point, I think still 3 million people didn't have electricity. You know, and it's kind of like survivor's remorse. I'm sitting here feeling guilty because I'm knowing how many kids out there, you know, don't. Our neighbor, you know, our town, you know, we had warming centers set up at the different places, and, you know, people were taking food to people and all this, and, you know, open up their homes, and like people did like we did and group together, you know, hey, you know, come to us, and we got power today, you come to us, like this. But it was just, it was wild. We played board games. I played board games with them. They have a little, it's like Chutes and Ladders, but it's a Rudolph game. And for some reason, they like it much better than Chutes and Ladders. So we played that, and, you know, they just had all the fun. But, yeah, I'm done with this cold weather. I'm never down with the cold weather, and I'm sure enough done with it now. So, but a bunch of y'all had asked me how this kind of thing happens, because it doesn't in most states, unless there's, you know, and that's how it happens. So I hope that helps with some explanation, some kind of explanation. But Black Ribbon Stitcher, so I'll jump into questions because I've been rambling forever. Ask about the floss rings I use. I bought them off of Amazon. I looked, the exact bin I bought of them is not available anymore, but they do have a bunch of different setups. The 1-inch ones are not my favorite. I prefer like 1.5 inches. The 1-inch ones, these are just a little bit small. I prefer 1.5 to 3 inches, but they have them on Amazon for like super inexpensive. You can get them at Walmart or the Office Supply, either one. But I got them off Walmart, and they just came in a container for a ton of them, and I keep them in a big giant glass ball jar and just pull them out when I need them and use them like that. So that's how I got mine. And I just, when I'm done, I just take my thread off, drop them back in the ball jar, and get on down the road. I love them. But that's how I ordered. I got them, I just had a couple, and then I just ordered them during, when the quarantine pandemic started. I just ordered them off Amazon, and I've just been, you know, recycling them back through that way ever since. So Debbie has 47 years married. Congratulations. Mary asked about the little owl pattern, which I have here somewhere. I did not box it up. So, because there were several questions about some of these, so I didn't finish boxing everything up so I could show them. It's called Hoo Hoo It's Winter. And I'm assuming you say her name, Thea Governor. I'm gonna try to hold it up real close. Thea Governor. Right there. And it's called 743A Hoo Hoo It's Winter. And it looks like she has her own, like a TheaGovernor.com, right? If I can get it in there, if it'll focus. Is it gonna focus? Probably not, since I want it to. But that's how you spell her name, and then it's just spelled like that.com. So freeze the TV right now and write it down. That's backwards, but anyway. But it is so cute. But evidently she makes, I guess it's her own, I guess her own art maybe? No. She designed the chart. She does give credit to the artist, and if you haven't seen, Jan Hicks does a great, she did a Flosstube recently about double checking things like that. And she does give credit to the artist here, and it has a copyright mark. So it says Marilyn Sazanave is the artist, and then she designed the chart. So I'm hoping that since she does give her credit and the copyright marks up there. So I hope that helps. That is so cute. And I'm gonna write it out here before I forget in case somebody asks again, which probably doesn't mean I probably won't remember or be able to read my own writing, which is always the other part because my writing is so wretched. Okay, Kathy was looking for the Mice in the Sewing Room pattern by Brenda Gervais. Kim said, thank you, Kim, that the Acorns and Threads in Portland has it. So Kathy, call up Acorns and Threads, and they have Mice in the Sewing Room. So you can snag it up. Mary asked about these. When I did this, and this has run me a merry chase, but I have got to the bottom of this. When I did this, it was called Love Letters, and it's by Needle Bling. I kept saying Pickle Barrel last week because my brain is wired wrong, knowing it's Needle Bling. I don't know why. good grief. But anyway, it's needle bling. But I swear it was called Love Letters when it was in just cross stitch. And it was in one of their magazines. But now it is, I guess, you know, with a certain amount of time or whatever, and then she could release it. Because it was like 2016, I think. Yeah, I did it in 2016, and it would have probably been in the magazine in either 2015 or 2016 when I did it. So now I found it, it's available. So you can order it from your L&S. I saw it on 123 Stitch, everything cross stitch. It was on numerous things. So call your L&S first. But it is Love Squared. Love Squared is what it's called now. And it took me forever to figure out why I couldn't find it. But I guess when you re-release it, maybe you have to change the name. But it's Love Squared by Needle Bling Designs. And it is, I love stitching it. It's so cute. And then Vanna does the tutorial on how to make the little, and I'm sure the instructions say how to do it too. But Vanna does a tutorial on making these little, or like package looking deals. And y'all know how I feel about Vanna's tutorials. Love them. So that's the best thing since sliced bread. Audrey down there in San Antonio, I hope you're okay. I know y'all got, like us, and y'all are even less used to it than we are. We have the Landezes down there, like family, and I hope they're all right, not froze to death or anything. I'm gonna scooch this guy over. I don't know why that's bothering me, but it is. Okay, now, this should fall under Happy Mail, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold it up here because one of y'all sent me this, my beautiful eyeshadow. It came in the mail. And I've been trying to stay off here and everything all week, but I don't know who sent it to me. Now, several of y'all sent and told me about it. Michelle and Jessa and Jude, several of y'all told me about it, but somebody sent me this, and y'all need to let me know because I want to tell y'all thank you. But they got it, they found it on Amazon. It's the one we were talking about last week, and I love it, and you know, it's hard to find. I didn't know where to find it now. And one of y'all even found it on Amazon and sent it to me. And I need to know who sent it so I can tell you thank you because I love it. Thank you so much. And I have it on today. Thank you. I love it. I was so excited. Oh, and I just have Jay on here. You've been married to your Valentine for 30 years. Congratulations. And Lenore, I'll ask Shadow about lifting up, giving your gray a lift when you're deciding to just let it go. I know that she has had me buy in the summer because I was afraid my hair would turn green from being in the pool so much, that blue shampoo. Any of the blue shampoos, it'll say something on it, but it's like blue shampoo for gray hair, and it cuts out the yellows or greens that can get in there. So you might get some of that and try it, and if it's looking kind of yellowy, that'll cut that color out there, because I was really afraid that my hair would turn green from being in the pool all the time. So you might try some of that and see if that'll make a difference. It's not very expensive, and you can get it anywhere, and see if you like, you know, if you like it. I don't think you have to use it every time. I would use it about once a week just to be sure that I wasn't going to end up with green hair, because I'm a little old for some green hair, I'm thinking. But anyway, Claire is in Australia, and she asked about Roadrunner because I said that was one of the things that I'd rescued before was Roadrunner. And she did not know a Roadrunner was a real bird. And which, you know, I mean, I guess they don't have Roadrunners in Australia, which does make sense. But yes, in Australia is a real bird, and a Roadrunner is a real bird. They are around here. I don't know, I think here out west, probably Arizona, New Mexico, out that way, they're really called chaparrals. But they look a lot like the Roadrunner on TV, except on TV he's got long legs like an ostrich, but really they're real low. So if you take the cartoon and chop his legs down so he's low to the ground, they look like that. They eat snakes and lizards and things, but they're fabulous birds. If you look them up, they are wonderful birds. I think it's Chapparal, if I'm not mistaken. If my brain's working right this morning, which it probably isn't, but they are beautiful, fabulous birds, and you'll see them here. You'll just see them literally darting down the side of the road or across the road. They're super fast, and if you see them in your yard, you probably have snakes around because that's their favorite thing to eat. But everywhere around here you have snakes. Don't kid yourself. But I was going to Daddy's and there was one laying in the road. And you usually don't see them hit because they're fast. And they were doing some construction, big like industrial construction work down one of the side roads. And I guess some of the trucks coming so fast, he went and thought he was missing it, and the one coming the other direction must have caught him. And I thought, oh my gosh. But he wasn't bent up or anything. So I stopped, pulled over, and got out, and I picked him up, and he didn't look hurt. And he opened up his eyes and looked at me, but he was just, you could tell he was like loopy. So I thought, God, this is probably gonna bite me in the butt. But I picked him up, and I'm holding him like this, and I'm driving with one hand, so I've got him like a baby over in my arm here, and I'm driving like this, and I head over to Daddy's, and because my cousin and family members from Utah had come down, and I wanted to tell them hi, but I knew I needed to get him over to the bird sanctuary. So I got over there, I called the bird sanctuary. They said, yeah, bring him on. Said hi to them, and Daddy had a box to put him in, so I didn't have to worry about him coming to and deciding he wanted to fight me on the way over there on that 45-minute drive. But he was still just calm as he could be. I'm holding him in a picture on Instagram. I have on a ball cap and I'm holding him, but you can't really tell much what he looks like. But I got over there and they checked him out and said, yeah, he had a concussion. They, were looking in his eyes and everything like the doctors do. And they said, yeah, he was fine, but he had a head injury, like a concussion. And that they would keep him, until he was okay. And then they, release him if they're where they can. And if not, they keep them there in the sanctuary and, let them live out their best life there. But it's a great, great place. We're really lucky to have it around here. So yeah, Roadrunner is a real bird. It's not just him and Wile E. Coyote on the cartoon. Although that is a funny cartoon. But yes, they are real. Diane says, and I had never seen this, and I've got to get it. Lindy Stitches has because Sari sent me that sweet card, and it said, Lindy Stitches has a chart that says, my real face misses your real face. And like I said, that's one thing I'm struggling with right now is my real face is missing your real face. And when Sister opened the yoga studio, Sari's parents, it's in the house where Sari grew up. It's her parents' home, and her parents have both passed. And then she turned the house into a business place, and Sister and Claire rented it. Sister has a yoga on one side, and Claire has the mosaics on the other. And so Sarah was going to be there with the kids, and they had a big thing outside and all. And I got to see her and the kids and see people, and it was just fabulous. And so if you're suffering like I am from things like that, go find that Lindy Stitches chart, because I'm going to stitch it for Sari and Nay and some other people. My real face misses your real face, because I'm suffering through that. And Lisa, I was just talking about the bird sanctuary, but it's about 45-minute drive from here. Rogers Wildlife Rehab or Wildlife Sanctuary, I think is what it's called, but it's over to Ferris. So it's about 45 minutes from here. And Denise, you were talking about, I'm glad you had 40 fun years, and I'm sorry that he's passed, and I know you must miss him awful, but I'm so glad that you had 40 years of fun. And I'm just going to leave that at that and say that I'm grateful and thankful that you had those 40 fun years, and I know you are too. Catherine, we're going to talk about, if you find one lazy person, you're talking about you wish you'd thought to do the variegated thread instead of all that confetti stitching. My daddy always says if you find one lazy person, they'll find you the easiest way to do everything, and then just get you a bunch of hard workers to go behind the lazy man. That'd be me. So if you're struggling with something, just call me. I can probably come up with something. I would be that person. And Cindy, I'm very glad that you got the good news from the doctor. Hallelujah. And Dina, the Sunday stitches, yes, I am in loving the Sunday stitches. I've seen the first one. Shelly has it and posted it. And I am loving the Sunday Stitches series. I've got to get it and get it going. Dottie has had both her vaccines, and she has also been married 2 times to a great guy. She is the only person I know who had any kind of she had a reaction to the second shot, but she's just fine now. But so she's the only person of all the people I've heard from. And she was just kind of not feeling good, kind of got a little knot for a couple of days, but she's fine now. So I wish Kristen's mama would go on. Pam messaged me about that too, but so far no luck. Judith said she'd been missing her texting now for 13 years, and I know that's hard, but I want to say to you, happy late birthday on the 11th. We are late, but happy late birthday. And Ava, my hedgerow house, I'll show them too in a minute, but my hedgerow house, the variegated colors that I'm using for the DMC, the gas that I'm using around the outside is the Freedom Blue, is the gas. But the DMC variegated, the flowers, the purple that I'm using so far is the 4260. The green around the leaves is the DMC 4045. And the red of the alphabet is the 4205. And I'll show it again when I hold it up, when I go through my whips in a minute. Let's see here. Oh, Sue, her husband is become ill and is even more isolated because he's ill and COVID, and said, you know, how hard it is, double hard now. Please reach out, y'all. Don't, I've reached out to some people during this bad weather, especially, that I don't reach out to as much as I should, but don't sit there and be by yourself. Reach out to somebody. Some of us get distracted and don't reach out as much as they should. Holler at somebody, FaceTime somebody, Zoom call somebody, somebody. Yes, if we could go to a coffee shop right now and, Lord have mercy, get a stuffed Belgian waffle at the IHOP and sit there and talk, it would be heaven. But it don't look like that's gonna happen right now for a little bit, but it is hard. And Sue, I'm sorry, and it's hard right now anyway, and then with him being sick, I know it's extra hard. So I'm sending love and hugs, and just holler and know we're all out there sending love and hugs, because it's rough. It's not easy. It's not easy. And don't think it's easy. And don't think that you should think it's easy, because it ain't. It ain't. And Jackie, I've been laughing. She said it was worth the trip in the horrible frigid, what was it, 6 degrees or something, to her LNS to spend her year's worth of stitching money. It was, I mean, that's a good sale. That is a good sale. Her and her friend loaded up and went out there. That's a good sale right there. If you're willing to go in the sub-zero nearly temperatures to get your stitching sale on, that's a good sale right there. So, but I'm glad you got to go, and I'm glad you got to visit with your friend, and y'all got there and back and safe and got to have a good time. So that's good to hear those things, and remember that there is this little bubbles of normalcy out there sometimes. That's how I felt about getting to see Sari and the kids. And we walked over to the park with the girls, and she had, her 2 kids are close to the age of the 2 girls. And so we walked over to the park with them and let them slide and play and everything. So we were outside so we could kind of visit. And that's how I felt about just a little snatch of normalcy. You know, the kids to play and see their faces and see Sari. And it was just a tiny little bubble of normal, just like that. And it was so wonderful. So I'm glad you got to do that and got to be that little bit of normal. And Jude, I went and looked, and then I went and looked again, and I see Jude was she's looking for a pattern, and she got part of an answer in between the 2 times I've looked. It is by You and I and Friends, and it's from sometime around 2003. If you go on the Stitching with the Housewives group page, if you're a part of it, and if you search by Valentine Smalls, and it's by a lady's post, Sherry Williams McDermott. But the pattern she remembered was by You and I and Friends, and it's sometime around 2003. But it's a little sheep, and he has hearts on him. And then it says, I love you, but not like E-W-E. It's spelled Y-O-U. And I assume it was like that on the pattern. But it's so cute. So if any of y'all know the name of the pattern, know where the pattern's available, have the pattern, anything, Jude is looking for it, and it is adorable. I thought it might be an Amy Brooken from the look of it because the little sheep, but it's not. It's a You and I and Friends. But it is so cute. So, if anybody has any intel about that, holler, because it is the cutest thing. Cute, cute, cute. So, holler if you have anything about that, you know anything about that. I'm also, before I forget, gonna mention Shelly is doing Freebie February again. I think I mentioned it last week, but I'm not sure. She's Just Stitching Inc. is her store. She does it online, but you can call her or email her, or her messaging has been kind of wonky right now, so I would call her, email her. You can always call her. They're super sweet. But she's doing Freebie February. So every day in February, she shows a free pattern that you can get. They're not all they're not all Valentine-y. There's some Christmas, there's some Halloween, Thanksgiving. I mean, not holiday, just general, all cute, all fabulous. And if you go back a little bit past that, she has the Sunday stitches that Dina was talking about posted, and it is beautiful. And so she has those on her floss tube. She has a floss tube. She always has a great floss tube. She shows you new patterns that have come out from all the designers. So I love watching Shelly because I just love Shelly anyway. But if you stay up with Shelly, you see, you know, she shows the new things from like, not just like a designer. She shows, you know, like everything that's coming in that she's got coming in. So that's really cool to get kind of an overview of everything that's coming. So I love to watch her, and she also shows like little nifty things. She'll show some little things from her life, but like audiobooks that she's listening to and things like that. So you can get like all kind of fun in there. So I love it. But anyway, there's some free patterns because especially right now, I know there'll be, not only has 2020 and 2021 been hard money-wise, but now with repairs and things with all this ice storms, and now it's up north, y'all been hammered and getting hammered again. I'm thinking it ain't going to get any better. So there are some free stitches available there. I got my mail, or haul, I guess. I got my Just Cross Stitch in the mail before last Friday, but I forgot to show it last Friday. So here we go. And I have a question about it. And if anybody else has got theirs and knows what's going on with this, I looked on their website and it might have said, but I didn't see if there was an explanation. There are several cute things in here. Really cute things. All kinds of little, like this. Somebody had mentioned they wanted to do a little shamrock stitching. There's the Irish Blessing. There's a scissor fob and a little biscornu. There is, look at that little rabbit. He's so cute. This is a band sampler that is like telling stitches and things. All kind of cute stuff in here. And there is also an Old English sampler in here, like this guy here. And I don't know if it'll focus on it, but it's neat. But as I'm flipping down through here, and this is a Christmas sampler, I think it's doing it piece by piece, if I remember right. But it says this is in here. And if I'm crazy, it ain't in here. So if some of y'all get this and it's in there, y'all tell me, because I can't find it in there. So maybe I just got a weird book. Maybe I'm blind or crazy, than I knew I was, or something else, because I don't even know. I do not even know what to say about that. What the heck? What the heck? So then I got Happy Mail. Like I said, I got this beautiful thing, and I need to know which one of y'all to say thank you to, because it is beautiful and fabulous, and I'm so excited because my other one I was scraping the sides of. Y'all seen that. So please let me know which one of y'all to thank for this. And then I got this beautiful thank you card here, and I'm hoping I don't put the thing up there. It's from Mary Jo. I always try to be sure I turn it right. Yeah, nobody see y'all address. This beautiful thank you card. She was one of the share receivers. And then I got this beautiful card from my Hannah Co. And she and Mochi and Prince live up there in the Pacific Northwest, and that's why I got to go up there to see y'all's beautiful place up there, because they got married up there on the, I know I'm gonna say it wrong, the Virginia V, the Virginia 5. Oh, and then we took the ferry over to Bainbridge Island and all that. Anyway, it was beautiful. And I'm always late about getting her Christmas present in the mail anyway. And then when you're such a goob that you send it and don't put her apartment number on there because they sold their house and moved to apartment, then it's real late. I was like, oh my gosh, you dodo. It came back and I hadn't put the apartment number on there. Go me. But anyway, that's her card from them. She's always so sweet. And I do miss seeing them. So someday I'll get up there to see y'all and her again. And this beautiful card here was a Valentine card from Jan. And Jan has been so sweet to check on me. And James Williams will go back to work next week and we'll talk or something. This beautiful Valentine card. I love it. I love it. And Gerber Daisies, those are my friend Susu's favorite cards. And she had a house full and a half during this. I think she had 6 extra people and 4 extra big dogs. And then she had to let her outside big dog in, of course, because it was so cold. So Susu is a saint. Susu's fabulous anyway, but she's up for sainthood now. She sends me this picture of this mailed blankets and sheets and things. And she said, I got all these sheets and blankets to wash. And I said, Lord, girl, why don't you just take and drop them off at Amy's and let her wash them? Because our laundromat has this fabulous wash lady. And she, you know, you can drop it off like a fluff and fold and she'll do it for you. And she's fabulous. And I don't use her, but Micah does sometimes. And I said, why don't you take them, drop them off with Amy and let her do them and just, you know, give yourself a little treat. Here's what she says. Because if I take them to the laundromat myself and sit in there while they're washing and drying, I'll be alone the whole time. There's that. There is that. That is absolute truth. Absolute truth in that. So you can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that. Because when you have had that much life in your house for a whole week, I mean, we're talking for a whole week, y'all. They went home Wednesday night, I guess. And they've been there since, I think, Sunday. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Maybe Thursday they went home. I don't remember if she emailed me, I mean, if she texted me yesterday or the day before. But yeah, Susu is a saint. Now, I got this fabulous little, this is so cute. And I'm trying to, it has words and I don't want to. This is from Dina, this adorable little card. And I love it. And she has written all these funny little things on here. And she says she's been out to the auction today. I used to love to go to the auction with my papa. I used to love to go. I'll make Keely take me with him again sometime because I haven't been in so long. But she sent these fabulous fun things and they are so cute. And some of these I have not seen. Here again, I never know how this happens that I miss these things. So I don't know what happens here. But this is a Sue Hillis Hello Halloween. Look at these adorable guys in this little car. They are so, so, so cute. I love them. So thank you, Dina. These are so adorable. And this is Not Forgotten Farm. My needle is sharp. My needle is sharp and my hands swift. 1871. That is so, and it has a little, it's so cute. It has little floss rings on there. I've seen people do those and I've never done that myself, and I love that. That is so cute. This is Trucking Along November with little chickens and the little pumpkins. So cute. So, so cute. See, I'm running out of space here, moving things around. I've buried myself in. This is by Cedar Hill Cross Stitch, and I've never seen this. It's so pretty with this border up here at the top. I guess it's just Merry Christmas. Is that the name of it? Yeah, Merry Christmas by Cedar Hill. But that border above that Merry Christmas is so pretty. Look at that. And I love that it says it is, oh, of course, Patty Pan, you know what that is? Dry time. The elusive dry time. Merry Christmas is done in the elusive dry time. Of course it is. This is Peace on Earth, which this is so pretty with this bird. This is gorgeous. La-di-da. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. I love it. So pretty. This is Waxing Moon. If you can't stir with the big girl, stay away from the cauldron. How cute is that? It says it's on 30 count carat linen. That linen is so cute. So, so cute. That's adorable. This is Ever So Grateful by Nan at Threadworks Primitive. So, so cute. Oh my gosh. I love him. That turkey is so dang cute. It says it's 4 colors. Is all it. Let me tell you something about Nan. If you look at her charts, it looks like, I don't know how she designs it. Looks like there's always so many more colors, but there's always just a couple of colors. She has some kind of a trick or gift to make it look like there's a bunch of colors, and there's not usually. That is so pretty. How cute is this? I wonder what color that is. I wonder if that's used brick. Let It Snow by Nan at Threadworks Primitive. I need to stitch that up this week in commemoration of this week. Lordy. I love that. The snowflakes are so pretty on that. That is beautiful. And then Spring Queen of the Needle series. And this is beautiful. And I have some of Isabella's chart, the Primitive Hair charts. But I've never seen the Queen of the Needle series here. This is so pretty. It's like a really fancy little needle book. Spring Queen of the Needle. And then it has, I don't know if you guys can see that right there, the little foldy outy on the inside. And then it has this here. And it's called Spring Queen of the Needle series. And it's by the Primitive Hair. So, so pretty. I love that. I love, love, love that. So thank you, Dina. And we will, because I have not been where I can get to anything this week, I'm trying to, you know, I mean, we're trying to keep from turning all the lights on because they said conserve, you know, all the lights you can. So on the days that I could, I mean, I would just literally turn my one lamp on and stitch with my one lamp. We haven't had any other lights on in the house. Not our, you know, we made sure our outside lights were off of everything and all. So I haven't gone in and got like charts out or anything for this week. So it's been so funny because I've been like, oh my gosh, just stuck in and not getting into anything. I've been trying to stay off my phone a lot because, you know, they said try to conserve as much power as you can, because the more we save, the more can go to other places, you know, other people's houses. So I know I've been kind of ghosty this week, but I've been really trying to stay off my phone, stay off of everything is a lot. So I haven't been answering anything. I've been trying to just really be off of everything, because they said the more you stay off of everything, the more power everybody else can have. So they say right now, just about everybody that is out of power because of a shortage has power back. Now the people that don't have power, it's because something's broke. Yay. And I will say, all this week, they've been replacing power poles out behind the house there on 875. So I guess something broke out there, and they've been replacing them. I don't know. It's been awful. One of my neighbors took them coffee out, was able to get out there one day and take them coffee, but they've had the road blocked off where you can't even get down there, but she was able to get to them one of the days that it was just bitter, and take them coffee. It was the day we were at Micah's, and she was able to get to them that day somehow and get their attention, and one of them came and she took coffee and throwaway cups out there to them, and because it was awful that day. The wind was just blowing. It was terrible. So they have been working really hard trying to do, I mean, you can't blame these guys. You know, these guys out here, and yes, they are getting paid overtime right now, but I'm sorry, ain't no overtime worth. I think the wind chill's been like -16 or something. Ain't no overtime worth that. I don't care what they paying me. That ain't to me anyway. Nope. So it's been, you know, and they're not to blame for the failure on the power grid at all. So it has been horrible, because, you know, they're getting a blast though. Every time somebody pulls up to them and says, hey, I don't have power at my house, you know, they're the ones that get in the blast, and they're the ones that have zero fault to blame for it. So I do feel sorry for all those guys right now. Good grief. But I do have whips. I did get most everything got a little bit of love this week. Not a lot, because I had to stop a couple of times to do other things. So, but everybody got a little bit of something. Peace on Earth by Blackbirds. I was super excited about it this week, because when I picked it up, I wanted to do some color. And so I just had a little bit of the orangey color done right here on it. And so when I picked it up this week, I thought, I'm gonna get these 3 buds done at least, so I can see what the buds are gonna look like, the blooms are gonna look like when they're done. And I was so pleased. I am loving it. It's gonna be so pretty when it's done. So that's what I worked on it this week, was I got all of these 3 buds done. I had just some of the orange done on this one, none of the color on this one, and none of the color on this one. So I got it done, and I was super pleased with it, super pleased with how it's gonna look. It was funny because today we had no power. I couldn't even stitch. We have all these solar screens on, and there wasn't even enough light to stitch at all with no power. So that day was really crazy. And then the next day, you know, we had everybody here, and the girls, and I don't stitch when they're here. They want to play and want to play games and all that. And so I don't stitch while they're here either. So I didn't get a ton done this week like you'd think when you don't have nothing else to do, but I did get a little bit on everything. So I loved that I got to see what the buds are gonna look like on that guy. So I'm super pleased with how this one's gonna be when it's done. It is a beautiful piece. It is not available now that I can find. Maybe they'll re-release it, because I don't think it's been available for a long time. I think this was 2007. So I know they've redone some of the ones So maybe this one we'll get again too at some point. But it is not available right now as far as I've found anywhere. So before anybody asks, this is the threads for it, which are, I must have had them all wadded up. But these are the threads for it. It's moss, mulberry, nutmeg, and forest glade. They're all gassed. But it is so, so pretty. So, so pretty. I love that one. And then I got a little bit of work done on this guy before, on my hedgerow house. Before Mike and them called and said they still didn't have any heat and they were coming over. So I didn't get a lot of it done, and I started not to show it, but then one of y'all had questions about the colors and about using a variegated thread. So the red for the letters is 4205. The purple flowers is 4260 DMC. And the green is 40, can you see that? Oh, if I turned it right side up, 4045. And then the blue I used around is gassed Freedom there. But the red has fallen off the little thing, it won't stay on anymore. I've got to get those put on floss keys, but. So I didn't get a ton done on it. I just started, I was fixing to do the purple flower when Mike and them called and said they were coming. So last week, you know, I'd done this and I'd done some of the back stitching on it. And that's gonna be enough variegation for me to keep me from doing those confetti stitching. I'm gonna be very happy with that. And so I just got these guys done and I was gonna do him on this side. And they called and said they were coming, so I just put it up. But that red there is the 4205 DMC. And I love it. One of y'all had asked about that red right there. And it's DMC 4205. And it makes me crazy happy. I'm gonna love this guy here. And it should be, this should be as long as it is, I think, right here. It should go right across like that. So when I'm done, that should be the finished size. I'm gonna change the colors of the house to, these little ones will be white with gray. And then this big one in the middle, I'm gonna change to look like the house we lived in when the kids were growing up, white and black. We've never lived in a house that looked like those Tudor style yellow houses, so I'm just gonna change it up to look like our houses did, and that will make me happy. That was that house was, when the kids were happy, little, that made me happy. I loved when they were little, y'all know that. This is May Health and Peace. It got a decent amount of love this week. It also has a piece of thread, little snip on it. May Health and Peace. I always get asked about it. It's by Miladys needle. I know they have it at the Stitch Niche in Arlington and at the Attic in Mesa, Arizona. Those are the only two places I know of that have it. It is beautiful. It stitches up gorgeous. You could easily do it on Aida. There's only six stitches that are over one. So you could easily convert those to 3 over 2 stitches, the way they're situated. So it is beautiful. These are the threads here. These are the thread colors for it. I have loved stitching on this thing. Let's see, I'll have to stand up this guy. I got over here, across here, this little kind of a square done. I started on whatever that is. This done here, let me move this thread, this little dog. I got half this little dog done. And then this is where there are the 6 over 1 stitches in these, but they're right above each other, like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So you could easily do them as 3 full crosses. And so you could do this whole thing on Aida. This could be a beautiful Aida sampler. If you're an Aida stitcher, you could easily do this. It is a full reproduction sampler. Gloria Moore knocked this thing out of the park. It is so gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous. There is a silk conversion for it. This is the DMC. I'm doing it on 28 count. I think it's weeks linen. So this is the size it would be. And this is on a piece of 16 by 20. So I guess it's, you know, that's 16 by 20 piece of board that it's on. So that'll kind of give you an idea of how big it is on 28 count fabric. So you could, this is about what size it would be on, this is what size it'd be on 14 count Aida. So if you're an Aida stitcher and you want to do a big, beautiful sampler that is a actual reproduction, this would work easily. The letters aren't 1/1. And it is beautiful. The colors, like I said, it's all DMC that I used. So it is very affordable. And it is beautiful. I have been super pleased with it. The chart is very clear. It's, the letters are, you know, the chart signs on it are big. It's numerous pages and it's easily put together. Like you can tell which page goes to next like that. So it's easy to read. I've been very pleased with this, with stitching this thing up. It is so pretty. So pretty. So if you're an Aida stitcher and you're looking for a big sampler that is an actual reproduction, that one would work very easily and very well. Then I had to have something cherry with all this coldness. So I grabbed out a Tisket, a Tasket. I think this came from Sally, maybe. I think she sent me this. Anyway, a Tisket, a Tasket by Brenda Gervais. I guess this is about with my Niecielynn thread or Brenda Gervais. I don't know how to tell the difference. Anyway, it's by Brenda Gervais, which I think is the same thing, but maybe not. I don't know. But it's, this one's done as a robin. I decided to do it as a bluebird and make a couple of changes in it. I changed all the thread colors nearly, and I'm going to have to pull something out and change it. But other than that, I'm super happy with it. I did it like a little bluebird. My bluebirds here are like a lot bluer than this, turquoise, but it's fine. This is what color she used on another chart for the bluebird, so I thought I'd try it. I don't know why that looks weird right there, but I'm gonna take his hat out. I don't like that color blue next to his blue body, so I'm gonna take his hat out and make it a different color. I did these as eyelets. They were done as crosses on the chart. And then I did these as satin stitches, which they look weird with that light. There you go. I did these as satin. These will be satin stitches around the little flowers, but I just got to finish out the basket and do those other two flowers right there and then change the hat and I'm done with it. I've really enjoyed stitching this. It was cheery and bright. Super happy stitch for all the cold look outside. So this has really been so nice. So nice to stitch with the yucky ugly outside. And this are the threads that I used here. I've got 3031 DMC, Roasted Chestnut, Classic Colorworks, Weeping Willow, Classic Colorworks, Fallen Leaves, CC, Eggshell. I didn't use that one. Then Gassed. I used Harvest Basket is actually the basket. And then I used Cadet is the color of the bird. Cadet. Week Style Works Cadet. So I'm thinking that might not be the right color. Anyway, I may have grabbed the wrong color for that to begin with, but I have loved it. It's super cheery and fun, and like I said, I changed out those other stitches just to make it even a little more fun for me, but it is a beautiful stitch. But that Harvest Basket does look just like a basket, and it has been a fun stitch, super fun. And that will be one of the shares this week because I'm nearly done with it. So it will be one of the shares this week. And then I did have a finish this week, which I was nearly finished with last week, I think. I don't remember how far along I was with it. But Be Mine Valentine. And it is a Lizzie Kate, I think. Yeah. I didn't have enough room to do the border on the sides without it being too close to the edge. So I just left the border off. I'm just going to do it as a little pin pillow bowl filler anyway, so it really didn't matter. And I was able to use up some of my scrap linen, which y'all know I love doing, which I know is probably completely insane, but I love doing that. So that is this guy here. So he will be he'll be a share this week because I finished him up. So that was my finish this week. So that will also be finish number 12. Yeah, that's finish number 12 this year. I'm trying to keep better track so that I don't have to try to count things up and also wonder if I got everything counted when I get to the end of the year next year. The colors I used on it are, these are all Wicked Stepmother colors. I used Little Red Riding Hood. I used Paper Roses. I used, let's see, what is that one? Help Me Rhonda. And green shirt, right there is the green. And then I think just the DMC is white. Yeah, that's the only one I didn't use, it wasn't. So you can see the fabulous variegation in these Wicked Stepmother colors. I'm loving them. I am loving them. Frankie and Rhonda are just killing it with these. And I didn't use any on my little birdie here because I kind of had these pulled out. And I started to try this for my bird, but it was even a little bit more green, so I didn't. So, but I have been so happy using these. They've stitched up, laid nice, so happy. So fun with those. And oh, last week. Okay, I know y'all, I'm going way over. Way over. Shares from last week. And the post office has not been running. I've not got any mail all week. And I think the post office in town has even been closed. So nothing went out this week. And I didn't send any email out. So if you're waiting on this guy, he has not gone out yet either. I haven't got Mike to help me do the email part of that. So I know Holly is waiting for this one, I think. But I'll have Micah help me get him done. I haven't, like I said, I've been trying to just kind of stay off everything. But now that everything's good again, I assume that the post office will open up today or tomorrow, surely tomorrow, and I'll get everything in the mail and on its way. But yeah, I haven't had any mail in the box or anything all week long. I think they've been trying to keep everything, post office, not only keep the trucks off the road, but keep the post office closed down to conserve that power to people's homes. I mean, you know, that needs to be in somebody's house, not in the post office. I mean, that don't need to be down there. Everybody, that needs to be in somebody's house, keeping them from freezing to death. So, or at least in my opinion. In my opinion, as they say on the, was that on the Good Fight? That judge would make people say, in my opinion. In my opinion. In my opinion, that don't need to be in the post office. That needs to be in somebody's house. So, okay. Love, so the shares from last week, Love 164. Oh, and I think I'm still waiting to hear from Pat. I think I've only one person from the week before. And Pat, if you emailed me about Halloween, I think I'm just waiting to hear from you. Yeah, Pat Myers, holler at me. I think, so if you sent me an email, it may have gone in spam and I missed it. But I think I heard from everybody else. Oh, but I did write some of these on the wrong page. Crystal, Tattletale and Pop Hearts, is your mama-in-law okay? Let me know if she's okay or not. I was concerned about that. Judy asked about my red shirt last week. It came from Micah's shop. CasusClothing.com, CASUS clothing, but I don't think she has any more. I think I got the last one. I love that top though. And Joy asked about a magnifier. I don't use a magnifier. I've never got one yet. Someday I will, but I have not yet. So I wrote those on the wrong page though. So that's why these are at the last of a page they shouldn't be on. Anywho, shares from last week. Okay, Love 164 by Lizzie Kate. Carla Regale, R-I-G-E-L, Carla Regale. Holler at me. I'm Niecielynn at Yahoo. I forgot to put it in the drop down last week. I'll try to do better this week. We'll see. Lord have mercy, I buried something here. I buried everything here. Jeez. What have I buried? The Happy Valentine by Bent Creek. Here it is. I'm getting all confused here. I gotta be sure I'm home with the right one. Happy Valentine by Bent Creek. Sheila Shields. Let me know your address so I can get this in the mail. And then I think I buried it over here or something. Where did I put that? I just had it in my hand. This is this one. Yes. Be Mine Valentine. Good grief. That won't be this week. This was last week. I've got another one over here for that. Be Mine Valentine by Lizzie Kate is Jean Truckee. Jean Truckee. Let me know your address and I'll get that one in the mail to you. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get myself right. That was from last week because I nearly finished it, or I was stitching on it last week. And then this week, the share will be a Tisket, a Tasket, because I'm nearly done with this guy. So a Tisket, a Tasket will be next week, and just use the word basket for that one. And then Dina done say me while, so I didn't have to go in there and turn on a light in the closet. We will use this adorable little thing. We will use the Truckin' Along November. So cute. And just use the word truck. Truckin' Along November. I have to make notes, y'all know, or I'll forget. And just use the word truck. Basket and truck this week, okay? And then, is that everything? I think. So we've got all these to get in the mail. Like I said, hopefully the post office will be open tomorrow. I can get that stuff in the mail, and I'll get Micah to help me send that guy. It's hard to point back over your shoulder. I think that's everything. I will turn the camera and show y'all the backyard still, the pool. Like I said, we ran out there in the dark. The electricity flipped off at 7 that night on Valentine's, and on Sunday, we ran out there and in the freezing cold and drained the pool pump, and so hopefully it's fine. Mike and Justin's froze up. Everybody over there, because theirs was still running when they went to sleep, which they tell you to leave them running if they'll run, you know, but their electricity flipped off when they were all sleeping. Well, then they woke up, heard it flip off. They wake up, start putting on clothes and everything. And it's so cold that parts of it have frozen up by the time they get down there. And so they lost their pool pump. I think everybody in their neighborhood lost their pool pump. I think ours is gonna be okay. We, like I said, we got ours drained and everything that night. James Williams and I were out there getting it drained out. But, so I think ours is gonna be all right maybe, but it's craziness. But I think we're gonna make it now. The sun's shining. I'm out of bird seed, so we're gonna try to get to town in a little bit, and I'm gonna try to turn this way so y'all can see. That's what I had my little bird in that didn't make it. Can y'all see out there? And there's the pool over there, and it's still just solid snow. I don't know if I go over here if y'all can see it better or not. But that's not water, that's white snow out there. Frozen solid still. The little squirrel was running across it yesterday. but we have patches where it's dried up. But you can see how deep it is. I mean, with the little birds, all my little feeders out there empty, but it's starting to melt off. So hopefully we will get all right and get on down the road. I'm gonna miss a stool and fall on the floor, then y'all really be laughing. We'll be all right now, and it'll thaw and we'll be okay. But like I said, I haven't been in town for anything else, but now I'm out of bird seed. My little birds are desperate. So CJ sent me a picture of some little cedar waxwings down there at Houston outside their place, and they're just all huddled up in the bushes looking so pitiful. So I'm going to try to go in and get some bird seed and fill up my feeders again. So, but we're supposed to be 70 next week. Welcome to Texas. 70 this week, 70 next week, 7 this week. So yeah, we may have a bunch of empty houses around here. People done moved here from other places, and they may not can deal with because we don't have seasons here. We have weather. We have weather. There's no such thing as a season in Texas. It'll be, literally, it was 7 degrees 2 days ago. No, 1 day ago. It was 13 degrees last night. And they say that next week will be 70. So, yeah, that's us. It is what it is. But we made it. We were lucky. We were super lucky. So much luckier than so many people. So super fortunate, super blessed. We were all able to stay together, stay warm. My family, you know, over to Mom and Daddy and all them, they were able to go to one place or other. Like I said, Daddy and them had the rolling blackouts. And so one or the other, you know, somebody was able to cook at all times. Annie cooked kind of and kept food going, and everybody could come in there, came in and ate. And they have a gas fireplace, so even when the would go off, you know, they could go sit by the fire until, you know, everything came back on again. And also, it's been a week, but we're here and we're fine. And thank y'all for checking on me and for the nice, sweet messages and texts and the prayers and all, and for your patience with the non-mail and non-emails and the non-everythings. So, but I will see y'all next week. And because vlogging time is over, you know, at Valentine's. So Sunday on Valentine's, you know, was the end of vlogging time. So so I will see y'all next Friday on a regular schedule. So y'all have a great week and enjoy your stitching. Bye.